So on this step, I am basically folding all of my paper in half. I am then putting 4 sheets together by interlocking them, and that is going to be each section of the book. You're going to want to mark the centre of the book. Then you're going to mark out 2 centimetre gaps on each side. Transfer this to all the other sections for each page. After you have marked out all the points, you're going to take something sharp, either your needle or I'm using an awl. You're going to poke each hole through, or make sure all the pages are lined up evenly when you do this. Repeat this on all of the other pages. So when it comes to sewing together the book, you need a piece of string about the length of your arms, half it, and tie a really big knot in the end. You're going to take one set of your pages, should always be 4. You're going to go in through, pull, and you're going to go to the next hole, out the other side. You're going to go all the way down to the end, then you're going to go back. Make sure you keep it tight, don't keep it too tight, otherwise it can rip through the pages, but if it's too loose, your book won't be very stable. So it's just as simple of in and out, in and out. When you get to the end, you're just going to go back the way you just came. So it should end up with the string being on the other side of where it was the first time you went across. So when it comes to sewing the pages together, you want about 2 arms lengths of string. You want to double it over, tie a really thick knot in the end, so it doesn't pull back through the paper. I'm going to start on the second hole, so then I end up with the thread when I've gone all the way across and all the way back. It ends up with the thread on the outside of the box. So you're going to make sure the knot's secure on that side. You're then going to go back and forth all the way to the end. Then you're going to go all the way back after you've gone all the way to the end. And then going to go back where you've just came, so it should end up with, after you've finished, there should be string on both sides. There should be no gaps without string. Make sure you keep it tight while you're doing it. You don't want it to get loose, as otherwise your pages won't be held together properly and end up having a book what's very hard to use, as the pages will slide around. You can use whatever colour thread you want as well, so you haven't got to match the paper with the thread. You could just do red or yellow. When you finish, you want to make sure the thread is on the outside, as it will help when you come to the next page, next 4 pages. So you want to take that section, put the next one on top, like that. You then want to take this, go into the first hole, into the first set of holes, go through. So you want to go in, pull the thread all the way through, so it's tight, not too tight, but tight. You then want to come out of the next hole, and you want to go underneath this thread. This thread, what's here, let me get it up so I can show you. You want to go underneath the thread, underneath the thread with your needle. Go around the bottom and then come up on the other side and go underneath the other threads. So you want to go round underneath them threads, go around and up through the other side threads. Then you want to go back through the hole you just came through. You want to go back through that hole. and come back out. And this way you need to make sure it's tight. You're going to repeat that all the way to the end. Yeah, we're going to repeat that all the way to the end. Go underneath. Underneath. When you go back up, you want to go underneath again. And back through the same hole. And pull tight. And go through the next one. Go through. Go underneath. And back through the same hole. And again, when you go through the hole in the back, out on the front, you go down, go underneath that thread, you come back up, also go underneath that thread, then go back through the same hole. Do it again. You're going to repeat this all the way till the end. All the way to the end of this page anyway. So, underneath. Up again. Back through the same hole. Put it tight, so in through the hole, in through the hole, pick up that thread as you go underneath, as you go back underneath the thread and go through the hole. You want to go back through hole, underneath, up again, back through the same hole. So I'm just going to go down. I'm not finished, but I'm going to go down and just make sure all the threads are all pulled to the same tension. Here you go, back through. Through there. Through there. And back through. Under there. Up through there. Back through the same hole. And one last time. You want to go up there, up through the hole, pull tight, underneath, and as there's no thread on the other side, you're just going to leave it there. I'll show you how to sew the next page on what is slightly different. So when it comes on to sewing the next page on, you'll want to after you've finished there, you'll want to go through the hole on the first one. So go through and pull. Then you want to go through this one. Then you will want to go between the last page you stitched. You want to go through underneath that stitch you made. Make sure, try not to get it caught in any other threads. Then go back through the hole and pull tight. And do it again. So you want to go through this hole. Through the hole. Through that gap, the stitch in, it does help to have a curved needle. Also just to bend a needle to do this. Back through the back. Let's go back through to the other side. Pull through. Pull tight. Make sure everything's kept nice and tight. Where the gap is, underneath, push and pull through, and go back through the hole we just came through. We're going to go back through. Well, you're going to repeat this. You do. So what we did on the first 2 pages is what you only do for the first 2 pages. Any other pages you want to add on from now, you can as many pages as you want. You'll do the same. You'll do the same thing. You'll do this for every extra page you add on. I'm going to go through the back. Pull tight. Underneath. So it can be difficult sometimes, even with a curved needle. Underneath the thread, pull up, I've got a knot, so I'm just going to have to do this a certain way. So you want to make sure this doesn't happen to you. You want to just make sure the thread doesn't get wrapped around itself, so it doesn't cause a knot to happen. It does make it look harder. You just can't pull on it either, because it will just snap the thread. I want to then go back through the hole. To the next hole. And go through. Underneath. Pull through underneath. Pull that through and go through the hole on this side, pull tight and repeat. There you go. Through the hole, can even do it like this, put it out flat so you can just, it'll be easy for you to get underneath. You can push the needle back up with your finger. Pull through underneath. Then go back to the hole. And if that happens, if it snaps, you're just going to have to backtrack a couple and just tie a new knot and redo it. Because that will happen every so often unless you're using a thicker thread. It will help stop it from breaking. The previous clip cut out, so all I did was basically finish it off all the way to the end. I then tied a knot and cut that off and cut off the extra string. I then cut all the edges nice and square. You don't have to do it. It does make it look nicer. I cut all the edges all nice and level. So to make the hard cover bit on it, you're going to measure the width. What is just under 15. Write it down. I'm going to have to take a centimetre off because you need about, not a centimetre, go with about 5 mil. So you take about 5 mil off that. Well, it's 14.5 for mine, but always check yours. You need to also add on 5 mil, so it kind of counts each other out there. You need to add 5 mil on so you have a nice border around. So we're going to add 5 mil back, so it goes back to 15 for this panel. For the length this way, what is 21? We're going to add on a centimetre to achieve 5 mil up for both sides. So that's going to go up to 22. So when it comes to doing the back, we're just going to trace the length. Yes, you need to trace the same thickness as the spine. Just neaten that up, make sure it's all the same, all the way up, down. Make it just slightly bit wider in the back. You'll want it at 22, not 21. You want it at 22 because you'll want it the same length as the outside of the book. So 22. So that's your back bit. The front hardcover. You'll need to you now need to measure out your 15. And then measure up 22. I'm going to cut that